What's up? Happy Tuesday, coming in live for the breakfast show. Hello. If you are brand new to a breakfast show, like you've never been a part of an episode before, it is quite an honor to have you. I am currently in Michigan. It is 11:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. The breakfast show has been a thing now. We stopped counting at 365 episodes, so that's pretty freaking exciting. And not only are we gonna leave today with a delicious recipe, I'm not sure if you got to catch the caption or not, but I'm literally gonna talk about today and you're gonna have so much clarity. I have to be very careful what I say in regards to meta. But basically, I'm going to talk to you today about why your body isn't changing even when you're doing the right thing. A little bit about my background, and again, I can't really make claims, but I went from the girl who grew out of a lot of my clothes, all of my clothes, to now my clothes feeling a lot better. And like I said, I can't make claims, so I'm going to jump in and I'm going to give you more of an analysis of what I did to, after 11 months of not getting any results, I actually ended up going in for a full-blown panel of blood work for 5 days in a row. I got a clean bill of health with my thyroid, and my doctor tried to put me on metformin. And metformin is a drug to treat prediabetes. I ended up saying no. There is a book. It is the best book in the entire world, written by Dr. James. It's called The Obesity Fix. I highly recommend it. It's the exact framework of everything that I learned and everything that I implemented to literally, I can't give any type of claims, but without the meal plan, without giving up foods, desserts, or alcohol, the girl that was struggling in the size 10, 11, and 12, going all the way down to what it was before I had a child. So I'm gonna share that with you during the show. I would love for you in the comments, if you have questions, to drop them. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you are not a part and did not get my free guide, that literally is the guide that helped me in many ways to master literally and trump protein, drop in the comments the word free, because when you get that guide, you get a series of things that gives you the exact tools of how I did it and where I was and the bridge and gap to where I am today. And I can talk more freely there. So that is actually gonna be located right here. You will have to put this into your web browser. It does say thebreakfastshow.net. And in there, you will see FREE guide for protein. That is not my guide. That is the guide that unleashed what it is that I'm going to teach you today. I am not an expert. My credentials are a group certified fitness instructor, and I've listened to 40 plus Audible books now. So I have a lot of knowledge up here that I love getting out and sharing with you. So let's dive in and talk about the 3 fundamentals. Hey, Cleo, come. Cleo, come now. Cleo! Let's talk about the 3 fundamentals, and I'm going to give you the exact strategic plan and apps that you're going to need. Because listen, I upped my water intake, and when I upped my water intake, I put on freaking weight. And I'll tell you exactly why, because right here, I was the girl who didn't like water. And I literally would add this to my water in Mio, in Crystal Light, in any water enhancer that you can think of. And you know what? I know people are like, oh, it's bad for you. I didn't care about that. I didn't care, but you know what? It spikes cortisol, it spikes your adrenals, it spikes your glucose. And every time we do that, our cells become so rusted that they stop responding. So when food comes in and insulin takes it and uses it as energy, food comes in and it's storing it in our fat pockets. Guaranteed, it doesn't matter if you're a king, it doesn't matter if you're a queen. So is what I'm telling you that you have to be perfect? No. But if 80-20, if 80% of the time what you bring in isn't a good rating on an app called Yucca, write that down, Y-U-K-A. I'm going to put it in the comments for you right now. I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee you, you make that swap for the next 90 days and you will start to see your clothes fitting better than they ever have in your entire life. Just do that. If you scan this in that app and it gives it a bad or poor rating, right now I can scan it, and do you want to know what it tells me? It tells me that this right here, right? It increases your chances of obesity. It causes inflammation to the gastrointestinal tract. It increases your risk of heart disease. It's carcinogenic. So if you knew that, would you be adding it to your water 4 times a day? If you knew literally this is the reason you're putting weight on or you're not losing fat, would you still do it? And the answer would be no. So how do I drink water and how much is it? It's half of your weight. And how do we know that to be proven? How we know that to be proven is that literally there's a term called lipolysis. And lipolysis is a fat burning process that the body goes through. It sounds a lot like liposuction, doesn't it? Liposuction was created, a plastic surgery on top of the word lipolysis, where your body goes through that process for free for you every single day. Half of your weight in ounces of water, right? Waking up to water before coffee, setting an alarm, right? I've got an alarm set. Every 90 minutes, my alarm goes off. I stop, I drop, I drink for 15 seconds. It's a non-negotiable. We've got 365 days in the year. We either burn fat or we don't. 75% of people statistically right now are walking around dehydrated. And it's the exact reason why we have such a high obesity ratio in the United States of America. Listen, I have family over in Europe. They're not allowed to have these additives. They're not allowed to have Mio and Crystal Light on their shelves. Here we live in a country where we have freedom, but we have to do our due diligence. And even if something says organic or clean on it, that means nothing. So that YUKA app, Dawn, do you know where to get that free guide? You put this in your web browser, thebreakfastshow.net, and you will see FREE protein guide. You will not miss it. Dawn, thumbs up if I made sense. Okay, so your water. I have inside mine today grapes. It's delicious. They're frozen. Maybe you do blackberries or blueberries or raspberries or lemons or limes or mint leaves or peppermint. How can you make it so you drink more water? A timer every 90 minutes. I just stop, I drop, I drink for 15 seconds. I wake up next to my bed to a sticky note on my phone. I have water before coffee. You don't have to put all these moisturizers. I literally had skin cancer right here into my lip. The cream every day that I was rubbing into my bloodstream was carcinogenic. Water is how you moisturize the skin. I literally was in a study where I literally stopped using all the stuff and I started drinking the proper amount of water. And guess what happened? My face looks dewy. I went from dry skin to more of a medium dry, oily, normal complex. So water doesn't just have the benefit of, hey, burning fat. It also keeps the intestinal tract free and clear of toxins and bacteria. How do you think all the food goes through your body? Do you think it just swims through? Or do you think that water helps push it through? Water helps keeping it moving along. The number one side effect of being dehydrated is very bad fatigue, very bad hunger issues, very bad no feeling of full and satiety. So set the timer. It's half of your weight. And yes, if you drink coffee, that's a diuretic. If you drink alcohol, that's a diuretic. If you drink pop, it's a diuretic. So add up those ounces and add it back in on top of half of your weight. Wait, what did I just say? If you're 150 pounds, we divide that by 2. We're at 75 ounces of water. If I drink 2 20-ounce pops, I'm at 40 plus 75. So I'm at 95 ounces of water in order to burn fat. The body is very systematic. So that's your answer. How are we gonna get there? We're gonna bridge the gap between where it is that we are now, struggling to drink water. Why haven't we been doing this the last 6 months? We didn't know. We're gonna infuse our water. We're gonna set a timer. We're gonna write water on a piece of paper. We're not gonna have coffee until we drink water, okay? That's how we bridge that gap. So water is how we burn fat. Water is how we water the skin. Water is how we keep the intestinal tract free and clear of toxins and bacteria. Water is how we feel full and satiety. Water is how we keep toxins from ending up inside of our intestinal tract. Water is important. Okay, the second thing is our protein intake. So she's asking about soda water. You can use soda water. Let me share an experience with you. If you're the type of person who doesn't want to get rid of your brain fog, this experience isn't going to be for you. If you're the type of person who doesn't care, each year after 30, you watch your performance and recovery decline in the gym, and you're okay with that, also it's not going to be for you, this experiment. And lastly, if you have higher blood pressure or you have any type of status of headaches and you like that, you don't mind it, it's not a nuisance, this also won't be for you. But you always have a cup of water. You never add ice to this experiment. And what happens right now is you have a cup of water. We could never add ice. We want to have about 8 ounces of water, okay? We want to do this experiment within the body first thing in the morning, okay? I'm going to cut this open, and I want to just bring to your attention that there are different formalities of things. For example, there's like what? You've got pill formats, you've got tablets, you've got crystallets, you've got powder. We're going to add this into water. This right here, okay, we're going to add into water, and it's clear, okay, it's clear. So we wake up and we put this in our body. I want you to think about this. I take a handy dandy stirrer, it's completely clear, and I set this down, okay? No ice because this is molecular and hydrolyzed, and it'll actually cancel out what is called hydrogen. Okay, so we have crystallets inside of here. Crystallets are the highest formality of absorption, okay? This is hydrogen. We're gonna set this down. This is gonna bubble. This is gonna make noise. We're not gonna drink it until it turns bright yellow. Hydrogen. Nitric oxide is in your body. I said the things like, if you don't care about your brain fog, this isn't for you. If you care about those things, why is this happening internally in our body? We have something called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, like a human, when you make a baby, we have a male and we have a female. Nitric oxide in the body starts to decrease around the age of 30. And what also speeds the process up is free radicals and pollutions. We have a choice. Its number one mate is hydrogen, but hydrogen isn't within the body. Nitric oxide is what pushes blood through the veins, the rate at which it's doing it, the depth, the width, right? And blood flow is everything. You have good blood flow, things are gonna happen. So when you take nitric oxide in the body and you add in hydrogen, this is turning yellow as we speak, you can see, it dilates the blood vessels for 10 hours, 10 times. That's what I want you to envision. So the brain fog, we're gonna start to see these type of things, like how I helped improve that, how I helped the performance and recovery as a group certified fitness instructor who almost gave up my teaching classes, to having hormonal headaches. I found this key component. So for 10 hours after I drink this, it's in me dilating the blood vessel, okay? There's a video that explains the process actually better than me. Here's what I want you to do. If you want that video and that knowledge behind what it does as a positive effect in your body, and if it's a good gap in between where you're at now and where you want to feel, drop the word in the comments, nitro. That's what it's called. And if you're like, Michelle, I could care less, I didn't really realize, maybe you purchased a tablet and you're like, oh, I didn't realize crystallization was the best form. Maybe you like the attraction. What I love most about this is that YUKA app I gave you, this right here, not only has third-party validation, it's clean. It's backed by science, proven through clinicals. That nowadays, when I was the girl who was diet this, sugar-free that, sugar-free, I've come to realize it was only hurting me. So if you do want to snag a bag, something that I really love about this brand is its 30 days money back guarantee. So if you drop in the comments like nitro with the little star, I'll send you a shareable cart, okay? With that video, all I need you to do is shoot me a message right here on Facebook saying the word nitro. Kathy and Nancy or Katie, is that okay? Because the comments are gonna go away on me and I'd hate to have to stop the show. If you do want it, I was just on the site, there's 3 flavors in stock. You can do black cherry, lemon, lime, or grape. You can see this is starting to turn very bright yellow, okay? Very bright yellow. My favorite in this flavor is black cherry. If you go to thebreakfastshow.net, the first link at the top, I looked this morning, says Nueva. When you click Nueva, you'll see nitro. I looked and I spent $75. I got $20 off today. Okay, so that's where you'll find it. If you want the info, just shoot me a direct message. My inbox is open for you and we can go from there. Okay, so let me know. Okay, so here's the deal with the second thing. The second thing is our fiber intake. I was literally adding this to my water, and when I hired someone to help me try to bridge the gap between why has it been 11 months? Why did I grow out of my clothes? And I'm noticing my clothes are not becoming any looser. This right here has aspartame. This right here has yellow 6. It literally has carcinogens. It causes inflammation of the intestinal tract. You can see for yourself right now because look at the comments. You're going to go download the app right now called YUKA. And you're going to start scanning. If you use something more than twice a week, just make it a scenario to scan it. You'll see. Because why does this stuff matter? Toxins and dyes, it raises cortisol levels. And when it raises cortisol levels, it spikes glucose levels. Toxins and dyes decrease the GLP-1 hormone in our body. So it does matter. So with our fiber, we want 25 grams. The best sources, let me give you a few that help me the most. I have one that I absolutely love now, and I love it because it's convenient. It's 40 calories, it's 15 grams of carb, or 15 grams of fiber. So I can have 2 pieces, boom, I don't have to think about fiber. It tastes good. I mean, it might be $10 a loaf, but you know what? I enjoy it. I like it. It's simple. So this carbo not bread, there's also the Royo bagel. It's Yucca approved. It's on that YUKA app. So you can go to the YUKA app. You can scan this. This has it. So it's 40 calories. Let me give you a little trick. If you go right now to Instacart and download that app for free, you'll see that you can search Carbonat and it'll tell you what stores have it in stock. And then you can go get it. The ROYO bagel is on Amazon. Maybe you can get that bread on Amazon. Maybe you want chia seeds, 2 tablespoons, you get 150 calories, you have 10 grams. Maybe you like berries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. Awesome. Well, now you have 8 grams in 1 cup. And your greens is 7 grams in 1 cup. We want 25 grams. That's exactly what we want. And I have a platform for you. If you don't want to be the person that's like, I have to find out these calculations, I have to figure this out, I have to track my protein, I have the entire system in place for you. Drop in the comments the word power play. You get into an app. I take the back end, the hard stuff. I figure out your weight, your age, your height, activity level. Are you a male? Are you a female? How much energy are you expending? You tell me this. I put you in an app. I plug all the numbers are in for you. All you do is put your food in there for 5 days and I voice note you. By the end of the 5th day, where are we at? We bridge the gap between why am I not getting results to this is our answer. You'll have 99.9% clarity, okay? How you do that, and this wasn't offered for 2 months now. I know because I didn't have the bandwidth to take new people on. So all you have to do to get in there is literally if you go to this link again, right in mid-page, you're gonna see the word power play. You're gonna have an immediate response to like text Michelle's personal number. And I guarantee it with certainty by that 5th day, you will not even need Michelle Churchill Dworak. And if you do, we can talk about steps, how we can continue to work together. Okay? So again, it's right there, big smack middle of the page, it says power play. If you didn't get the free protein guide, please take that today. That is the guide that helped me in many ways. So Katie, do you know where to get that power play? So that's the component of fiber. How we increase the GLP-1 hormone, which is our hunger hormone, is by increasing fiber, decreasing toxins, dyes, and carcinogens, which we have that YUKA app, okay? Fiber, it comes in 2 forms, just to give you a little biology, because if you're anything like me, I've come to find the stronger I have a why behind it and I can bridge the gap between why I'm not getting enough fiber and how to get enough fiber, it makes it easier for me to know it's the only food that can actually swell to the depth of my intestinal tract. Like, think about every piece of food that we eat, everything we drink comes through the intestinal tract. Literally, and our intestinal tract should be like pink and healthy, like our gums. And when I looked at a clear analysis of mine when I got put to sleep to get a scope put down here because I was having so many stomach issues, literally, mine didn't look healthy and pink. Mine had toxins. Mine had bacteria growing on the walls. So how do you know you're deficit in fiber? You most likely have inflammation, bloating. Like you should be able to eat an apple, and if you wake up and your stomach is like this width, it shouldn't expand from eating. So bloating, irregular bowel movements, foul smelling gas, weird noises going on in the stomach area. Those are the type of things that within 72 hours of changing your fiber is gonna improve. So we have a direct correlation, right? Between, okay, we start to improve it, our positive benefits heighten, the negative side effects we're experiencing decrease. So we're getting the gap and margin between where we're at now and where we wanna be. And it doesn't take a year. So that's the fiber. In the app, yes, I'll go to the website. Awesome. In the app, when you work with me, I'll know this is not YUKA approved. I'll know your fiber. If you just try to wing this and you're like, oh, I understand the app, I know where to look for you, I know how to teach you, that's like having Michelle in your back pocket to be like, hey, listen, you're not gonna get burnt out, you're not gonna get frustrated, you're gonna get fascinated by the process. That's for the power play, okay? So fiber is very important. There are some things I cannot talk about very up and openly. If you are the type of person as me, okay? I reached my first goal when it came to my clothes fitting differently. The second goal that I had didn't happen for like 5 years because I couldn't bridge the gap between what I did to my body and what my body was going through, especially being almost 40. We have in our body thousands of cells. Thousands. They're these short chains. They literally look like little figure eights. And they're literally what send messages all throughout the body. And because of the toxins and dyes and carcinogens, and because of our food system having things like aspartame and yellow 6, our cells get so fed up that sooner or later, they start to stop responding. And the ones we never want to stop responding is the insulin. We want food to come in. We want insulin to jump up front and grab the food and either use it as energy so we feel good, or store it as energy, or we want it to be used, right? What's happening is the cells have lost their Wi-Fi connection. That's the best way to explain it. And what's happening is it's taking your food, it's missing the system of being used and stored as energy, and it's just storing it in pockets of fat pockets in your body, okay? There is a way to disrupt this, and I know there's a lot of things that people are doing out there. Do your due diligence. I have to be very careful what I say online because my TikTok account was just up and banned. Like, you have to be very careful. But I will tell you that I've listened to 40 plus Audible books, and I have talked to thousands of women who have a lot of complaints about their body becoming completely stagnant no matter what they do. There is a cell activation component that does not involve any type of pricking, any type of, pricks in the body, going to a doctor, having a prescription, none of that. And once we activate those cells on the back end, we literally can 100% with certainty never have to activate those cells ever again, okay? So we have a long-term solution. This isn't something, Allie, here, this isn't something that's tricking the brain, okay? So with this, I want you to know that it depends on your current situation, okay? I'm gonna have you drop a 1 in the comments. I'm gonna have you drop a 2, so wait until I give you both scenarios. Number 1, focus and mood. Focus and mood is very low, okay? So think about all the things around focus, think about all the things around mood. That's a 1. Another 1 you would drop in the comments is food noise. Food noise, large amounts of food in a short amount of time, constant hunger, cravings, sugar, salt, and then the last part would be inflammation. You can just feel it, you can see it. You can see it in the face, you can see it under the eyes. Those are all the 1 component. So drop a 1 if that is you. 2 is the person who wants to improve their muscle tone. They want to take their body composition from like right here to bringing it in, okay? Body composition, you also want in your body to improve insulin sensitivity. Those are the twos because you have two ways around this. I will give you the cocktail recipe if you want to see both. It's a video, it's 8 minutes, it's with an expert. I send it to you. You say, okay, this is going to bridge the gap between where I'm at and where I need to be. I want this. Or number two is a different cocktail. This is not a one size fits all. So basically in the comments, you need to drop the word quiz. In the comments, I'll give you that quiz. I've got different people on different cocktails. I could hold up pictures of people that I've walked up to in the mall, and she needed a different cocktail versus this woman who was in menopause who needed a different cocktail, okay? So it just depends. You have to drop in the comments quiz. I'll send it and you'll go from there, okay? That's gonna help with cell activation, a very big trending topic, especially if you're a naturopath. Especially if you're the person who's like, listen, I've tried everything. I give up. I'm so over this. I'm skeptical, and you're like this close to going into a doctor to get a script for something. Like, do not do that before you do your homework. I highly recommend it because I talk to 50 brand new people every single day. And listen, I know a lot of information, and I know out of these 50 people a day, what exactly is happening versus what's not happening. And it's kind of like hitting the lottery. You don't know if something's gonna permanently happen to you by you changing and doing a different alteration, okay? That's the activation of it. The third component is our protein component. Protein comes in, okay? It's the most abundant thing made up in the body outside of water. One thing I would always tell people as a group certified fitness instructor, of all age levels. So I've worked with a lot of seniors, and I've gone all the way down to being with Lifetime and working with 20-year-olds up to like the 60 age range. One thing that we see is a change in the hair, the skin, the nails, the joints, the muscles, the wrinkles, and the skin's elasticity. Why this happens is because protein is the number one thing made up in the body with water, and there's 20,000+ different types of protein in the body. And there's one that has the #1 award. So I want you to think of number one. If I had a first place here, second place over here, and a third place here, first place standing right here is the most abundant protein in the body, which is known as collagen. Awesome. But I was so uneducated about collagen. I was the girl who was standing right here who wanted to have the beautiful hair, skin, nails, joints, muscles, wrinkles, skin's elasticity, right? But I was the person that didn't have any of that, and I didn't understand why. First, I never knew until I listened to 40+ Audible books that you lose 1% at 20. It doesn't matter if you're a king, it doesn't matter if you're a queen, it doesn't matter if you had a C-section, you lose 1%. So the first step would be, how old am I? That's my first step. When I found this out, I'm almost 40, I was about 29. Okay, so I've lost 9%. How do I get back my 9%? Is it too late? Thank goodness the answer is no. Okay, but now I come to find out there's 5 types of collagen. Well, I used to be the girl who was just in the checkout at TJ Maxx, and I see a collagen and I pick it up and I get it. I look at a label and I get it. I wasn't aware. There's 5 types. Each year, after the age of 20, we lose 1% of a type 2. Okay, so coming to find out, type 2 is what we want to add in. I never knew the first ingredient listed in anything that you ever use. Everything has to have an ingredient list, including peanut butter. The first ingredient listed is what you find the most of. The last ingredient listed is what you find the least of. Your first ingredient, if you're using something, should be type 2 collagen. If it's peanut butter, it should be peanuts. But a lot of time in these manufactured products, they're having it as the last ingredient because they're making something for cheap and putting it on a shelf for 50 or 60 bucks and making a very high wholesale price off of it. So that's really important. Having skin cancer, right? Knowing and figuring out, reverse engineering what I was using. I never had the YUKA app in the beginning. Remember, get that app, it's in the comments. I never came to realize, oh my gosh, guess what? I was using something that had carcinogens inside of it. I'm rubbing it into my bloodstream. Look it up in the app. Does it have high risk? What's the rating of the product? What's the rating of the makeup you're using? It's going straight into the bloodstream. So organic tremella mushrooms, if you can make it to a health food store, they mimic hyaluronic acid. That's your 11s, your fine lines, your crow's feet, your 11s, right? Your cheekbones. So use it at the same time as a type 2 collagen. It's type 2 collagen's #1 mate, okay? And then lastly, if you do want to use some type of enhancement to enhance the metabolism, I can't say the word like what the word is, but CLA has seed oil, so that's an out for me. Berberini, I'm anxious, I cannot do caffeine, but the Morosil, I want you to Google Morosil. It's in a patent study. 94% of the users who use it for 12 weeks, they go through an analysis paralysis, body composition. When they hop on and try on their clothes, way down. The visceral part of our body that's storing in the pockets decrease. Why didn't the 60% of these people get results? They weren't consistent. So with this, you guys, again, because I'm such a nerd for science, clinicals, third-party validation, and cleanliness, I go with medical grade. I'll pay the extra $2. I'm gonna give you a trick right now when it comes to using and finding the right sources of protein. This is a type 2 medical grade collagen. So type 2, it has organic tremella mushroom already in it. Check. It's got fenugreek to support the gut lining, which has to do with the type 4 and type 5 collagen. And it has the Morosil dosage already in it. So 4 supplements in one. But I want to introduce you to the expert. Actually, there's a video. If I were to share it with you, introducing you to the expert in the science around this specific collagen, would you press play on it? If the answer is a yes, I want you to drop in the comments the word slim. Okay, slim, S-L-I-M. That's what it's called. It's called Snow Slim. Right now, I just looked this morning. They only have 2 flavors in stock. They have a chocolate mint, they have a chocolate raspberry. They don't have dairy, they don't have gluten, they don't have soy, they don't have additives, they do not have fillers, they do not have caffeine. It's backed by science, proven through clinicals, third-party validation, and clean. You can literally, okay, I'm trying to get into the email, I want to get that hydro. Nancy, do you want me to send you a link? You can get a bottle right now, 89 bucks. You get it today for $69. 30 days money back guaranteed. An invite right now to be their next transformation story. Just drop the word slim, put a star next to it, okay? I'll send it to you. This is where you're gonna find it. So Nancy, if you just go to thebreakfastshow.net in your web browser, at the tippy top, you can't miss it, it says New Wava. When you click New Wava, it's called Snow Slim. Single bottle you get today, it's gonna go down to $69. If you get a duo pack, which is a 2-month supply, you save more per bottle. If you get a 3-pack, trio pack it's called, you save even more per bottle. I did the trio pack. A 3-month supply saved the most per bottle. Okay, that's where you're gonna find it. So just to recap, we're gonna put that in the web browser. We're gonna see the term New Wava and we're looking for Snow Slim. Nancy, you'll find in there Nitro. Does that make sense? And if you're already an existing customer, if you use a different email or you create a new email, guess what? You're gonna get the 20 off as a new customer. I never said that to you. So, does that make sense? That's the one thing that I talk about the importance of, because working with people from 20 to 80 in the gym, haven't heard back from anyone. In the gym, I've heard in the struggles of the hair, the skin, the nails, the joints, the muscles, the wrinkles, the skin's elasticity. The price it costs someone now versus the cost long term, if they have to go get contouring work or sculpting treatment from the loss of growing back into their clothes versus their skin going back to how it was, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be cheaper with the price now than waiting to do something like that, if that makes sense. Again, with Meta, I have to be very careful what I say. So if you drop in the comments quiz, I can reach out personally. I can share some things with you. If it's helpful and it's a good fit to gap the bridge between where you're at and where you wanna be, awesome. If it's not, maybe I can direct you to a different position, to someone else, okay? So that's for that. If you have any questions, here's how you're gonna see if something's a good bang for your buck. All you have to do is when you cover the last thing, which Kirkland, this is a Yucca approved bar, Y-U-K-A. Literally, if you look right here, every label has to have right here, okay? It has to have the calories. So your number one trick to know if something's actually a protein, because I don't want to overwhelm you, is to find the calories. Then your step two is you're gonna see in bold carbs, you're gonna see in bold protein. Do you see this? Do you see in bold right here? So protein, the second thing I do is cover the last number. So 190, I covered the last number, I have 19. That is how many grams of protein this bar should have in order to be a protein. Do you see my pinky above protein? There's 21 grams. Is 21 higher than 19? Yes, this is an amazing bang for your buck. The second thing that I would do though is I wouldn't get, okay, I would not get the bar that's the cheapest anymore. That's how I used to be when you see like 7 different bars, 7 different Greek yogurt, 7 different cottage cheese. What I would do is I would literally 100% just go in and I would, okay, I got a new phone, so I have to, of course, enter all my stuff. I literally just got it. Go in and scan it. And when I scan this, it's a good rating. But my pure protein bar, it's a bad rating, right? Like, let me look at the protein bars. It's like, are you serious? Pure protein. I was using it. It's like bad. It's a 7 out of 100. Look at this app. Like, it gives me all the 7 additives in the rating. So if I click on it, it tells me, like, what is this telling me about this? This is in risk of developing cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation of the digestive tract, and other metabolic disorders. Additionally, high consumption of like sweeteners would be associated with increased risk of cancer. So that's how you're gonna base it off of this. So do you have a new hack? Drop in the comments the word 1. That's what you're gonna do with cottage cheese. If it's 80 calories for a cup, we identify the calories, we look at the protein, carbs, right? We just make sure we see it. We cover the last number, we have 8. Above protein is at 8 or more, it's 10, awesome. Next step, we scan it. Once you get through this process, each time it'll get easier. And if you didn't get that free protein guide, you're gonna drop in the comments FREE and I will send it to you, okay? This morning, the Audible book that I'm currently listening to, I always tell you guys, I listen to a chapter dedicated every single day instead of listening to the radio. And literally what I do, okay, is I have, right here, I listen to it and I come live and I share with you what it is that I'm learning in a little snippet. More fun, hopefully. Like if you feel empowered and educated, drop a 1 in the comments because I'm being dead serious. I want to know if you're more inspired and more inclined to now reach for water, to reach for fiber, and to reach for protein. Here's the deal with your protein. It's such an honor to be able to burn 30% more calories consuming it. So it's really fun to track the grams. There's 4 calories in a gram of protein. There's 4 calories in a gram of carb. There's 9 calories in a gram of fat. So 150 grams of protein, which is how many grams you should be getting your goal weight, whatever your goal is. I can't say the word WEIHGT, but your goal, your desirable goal, and you can Google it. You can say, hey, I'm 5'7" female. What's my desirable, you know, the WE word, right? It'll tell you a range. The highest number is what you want to go for. So mine's 150, but 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So 150 times 4 is 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. So you have to be mindful of the cheeses and the avocados and the egg yolks and the olives and the olive oils and the salmon. the healthy fats, the omegas and nuts and seeds and peanut butter, it's taking over our protein because it's double the amount. That's why it's called a fat versus a protein or a carb. So you have to be aware that you burn 30% more eating it. It's how the body actually goes through the feelings of fullness and satiety. Isn't that amazing? Like literally how it goes through. Are you and Bella gonna hang out, question mark? If not, I'm gonna try to make other plans for her. She's driving me crazy. So you go through the feelings of fullness and satiety. I was really into checking my blood sugar, taking it, poking it. There's a direct correlation to unsteady levels in people who are deficit inside of protein. And the third thing is it improves your muscle tone. Fibromyalgia and osteoporosis. You know, if you want to help decrease the chances of these types of things long term, you want to make sure you're getting the ideology amount of protein for you. Does that inspire you to be better with your protein, with your water, with your fiber? Do you feel like you just wasted 41 minutes? Or do you feel like you might have bridged the gap between this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and now I have the length and the ability to jump from here to here and the proper sources. So if you didn't take the quiz, I have more of a back end, hey, let's have a conversation. I can't make claims about body shape or any of that, so I have to be very careful. You can drop in the comments the word quiz. I will get a hold of you. And if you didn't get my free protein guide, that's where I want you to start. That's the guide that helped me in many ways. You can drop the word guide in the comments section, okay? Otherwise, I think I covered everything I wanted to. This morning, the entire chapter, if I were to put it in a 90-second elevator pitch, thank you, Shirley. What I would say the whole chapter about was sometimes it's inspiring, sometimes it's education, was about toxic people. Do more than annoy you, they actually rewire you. So a lot of it has to do with the brain. Okay, we have this conscious mind that's trying to keep us really safe all the time. That's constantly being rewired, and it can be rewired by other people. And then we've got the subconscious mind that keeps you from doing things like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to this guy, he's really hot, and I walk up to him, but as I'm walking, my conscious mind says, wait, he's too good for you. Okay, right? Because my subconscious mind is trying to keep me safe. No, act on the subconscious mind. So stress shrinks your mind, calm actually expands your mind. Not everyone deserves access to your nervous system. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Why does your future depend on this? Because 97% of your success comes from your mindset. So let's say it again. Toxic people do more than annoy you. They actually rewire you. Stress shrinks your mind, calm expands it. Not everyone deserves access to your nervous system. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. Okay? And then the last little bit of the other back end of the chapter that it talked about, and you can follow him, James, Dr. James. He's the creator and he's the creator of the Obesity Fix. It talks about using an addictive personality in your advantage to literally get addicted to working out and walking daily, eating healthy, keeping a set sleep schedule. Take your biggest flaw and turning it into your biggest advantage. And if not, maybe you don't have that advantage. Every night before you go to bed, map out what you're doing the next day and when you're doing it, so you prepare your brain for the day ahead. So drop a 1 in the comments if it was helpful. Next steps would be to get that quiz to see if there's something we can do to speed up your process, to bridge the gap between where you're at and where you want to be, help with sugar and salt along the way, and also help with the cravings we talked about, and also speed up the process, and then also help you have more energy. Okay, so that's the quiz button inside of there you want to put. And if you didn't get the free protein guide, drop protein guide. If you don't want to go off and do these calculations by yourself and spend all the time trying to figure out what do I need wise, what's my caloric intake for protein, and what's this, I have it in a back end system. You can have all of that designed out for you from me. 5 days of testing the system behind the scenes with me, with a voice note coaching back and forth. I do 5 days because the average person masters it in 3 days. And then you carry that app on with you into the future, and you get 5 modules to do, and you get that forever. And that's one time right now, 67. So that's how you would get that. Drop power play in the comments, and that's what you would get started on. You'd be set up in the app today. Technically, you can use it, especially for that fiber intake, but your first day can start as tomorrow. So you would have me actually, and you want to do this if you're traveling, you want to do this because you want to learn how to biohack these things in busy times, so that literally overall you're reaching your goals and you know how to navigate every area of your life. I could do this if I travel. I could do this if my mom ended up in the hospital. So that's where you want to move. If you want to move forward, you would drop. Okay, but if you want to go off and do it on your own, you could go do that. It might take you probably a couple hours to configure those numbers, find the answers, get it set up. If you want to take that and downgrade it into like 90 seconds, you would be the great component and participant for my power play, which was sold out for 2 months, but it's back in stock and running with open enrollment right now. If it's a good fit, awesome. If it's not, I can probably recommend someone out to you. I know a lot of people out in the industry and space of helping people. If you do have any type of medical conditions, I work with basically everything under the sun. I work a lot with people who are more of the naturopath farms now, instead of the, the scripts that people have to get, just because I've taken my approach to that, because I never realized how it was actually having additives in it, fillers in it. So yeah, so I'm gonna hop off. It was an honor to be with you this morning. You are guaranteed a show Monday through Friday. I want you to think of one person right now that you would say this to, that you'd be like, hey, I hopped on this call this morning. It forever changed my life, because this could be you. You could literally be saying next week that you got on a call at noon, your life has forever changed. You were here and now you're here and bridge the gap. Who are you gonna tell that to? Now in the comments, since the only way to get Michelle out there to help other people is through referrals, if you put the @ symbol, like at Gmail, @ symbol, and start typing their name and hit enter, it'll tag them, hey, Betsy thinks this would be amazing for you. Take a peek at it and it could change her life. So make sure you do that @ symbol and their name, because that's the only way they're gonna be able to find out about me. Meta is not capable of pushing my information out there. So again, if this was helpful, if you're inspired, think about the 5 people you're closest to in your life that pop up in your mind right now if you were to tag their name in the comments. So I love you. It was an honor. I hope you have the best day ever. Go back to the very beginning, save this for later, for a day that's like a rainy day that you're feeling unmotivated, and just know that taking action and being consistent and not perfect is what's going to lead you to the cell activation of what it is that you need to do to get that body rewired and back to like Tesla format versus the in 1950 rundown, broke down engine. Okay? Bye guys.